How y'all doing?
So you're probably wondering where I've been. And me too, but I'm just kidding. But honestly, school just got the best of me. Why lie? I had zero time. I was literally just so focused on school, but we're done now. Yes, we're done. For now. But we're done. And I also had lost like my ring light, I guess like in the process of like moving, not the whole thing, just like the stand, and I finally just bought one. I was like, you know what, I need to do this. So here I am, and I forgot how much I love filming YouTube videos. So I did this brown smoky eye look, and it's so versatile and it's so easy to do. Literally, I tried to use just one palette, and like I cheated a little bit. I used one other one, but it was just literally for something so simple. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, just continue watching. Alright, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit. I know it's a little scary. I have some pimples, and we're just gonna blame Mother Nature for that, but it's okay. Everyone gets pimples, you know, it's fine. I'm gonna do the eyebrows a little bit quick just because I am planning on putting up an eyebrow full in-depth video, and you'll still be able to see what I'm doing, but it's not gonna be that in detail. So let's get started. So starting off with my brows, I always like to start with my brows first just because I feel like you'll be able to shape them better than when you already have like all your foundation and like eyeshadow on. For my eyebrows, I will be using Anastasia brow pomade, and she's like jacked up, but it's okay. She still has some and she still works, you know? And I'm also gonna be using this brush. I know this brush is from Anastasia, but it doesn't say a name. But I'll probably be able to find it and I'll be able to link it or something. And it's really good. I've had it for a while and it's still like perfect. So I start off by combing up my brows. So I just fill it in. Just keep in mind, I don't do anything over here. So I'm filling her in. Yeah, then I just brush up the front hairs and then I comb them so it's not like as harsh in the front, or so you don't get that little boxy look. On camera, I ended up doing my other eyebrow and I actually put concealer underneath and prepped my eyes for eyeshadow. So I'm gonna just try to make it easy, and I feel like almost everybody has this palette, and if you don't, it is not expensive. You can literally just buy it at Morphe, Ulta, and just use the coupon code and you'd save your monies. So I'm gonna be using my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So yes, she's beaten up. And using my Morphe E27 brush, I will be using those two shades right there. Use those first two colors to blend in my shades to make sure everything comes in smoothly once I start adding darker colors. So I like to go from light to dark. So I'll be putting this on the highest bridges of my eye. I don't even know that's what it's called. I'm gonna call it a bridge. So I like to go over my crease, and I like to keep adding until I see the color I want. So I like it to look blended and like a little bit of like a brown yellow. So that's the look I'm trying to go for. And I just go in little circles and I keep doing that until I see it's blended enough to where my liking, and so the colors just don't look harsh. And that's pretty good enough. You can't really tell, but it's just like a little bit of color, so it transitions nice. Next, I jump into my Morphe M441 brush, grab that brown shade, and I start off in the corner of my eye, like in the bottom where my crease is. So I start packing it up on there, and then I start blending slowly up, just making sure I gradually get the color, and I don't just go all harsh in one, because then it's gonna be a lot harder to blend rather than adding little by little. So I literally just pack it on. I'm doing little packing motions, and I want more. So you just keep dipping in until you see the darkness that you want, and I start doing little circles. Make sure you're also blending in this color with the shade we used initially so they can seamlessly blend in together and there's no harsh lines. So also make sure once you're finally getting the color you want, so this is the darkness I want, and of course we're gonna add more, but you're gonna start dragging it slowly on top where your crease is. And if you wanna do it above your crease because you think your eyes are too hooded, definitely do that. I have hooded eyes too, but I like to do it like right on the line. And so I just bring it in smoothly, and yes, I know I'm not supposed to grab my face, but it's okay, I'm gonna get wrinkles anyways. So yeah, so you just start doing little circles and buffing that out. and slowly to make sure you don't bring so much color downward. So if you see that you want to add more brown because you realize you blended it out too much, that's fine, add more. I'm gonna do the exact same thing right now. So packing it because it kind of lost some of its color with the blending, but be careful. So I go from downwards to up and then bring it out gently. So then I'm gonna jump in with my Morphe M433 brush. I'm gonna go in with that brown shade next to the one we had just initially used. So same thing, you're gonna put it on the bottom, but make sure you leave a little bit of space so that first brown shade that you added initially can still pop out and you can see it. Okay, so then I put it next to that brown shade and it starts mixing in together. The reason why I use this brush is because it's more compact, so it's easier to guide it to where you want it to go in your eye. So same thing, you're literally gonna repeat the process, but instead of going so far deep in, you're gonna go a little bit less in so you can see the gradual change in your eye. So you're gonna drag it, but not that far. It's just a little bit. I would say if you were to open your eye where your pupil ends. So I guess that can be your guideline. The first one went all the way. This one's gonna be a little bit less. And you just drag it and do little circles. Make sure you're combining the colors. I'm with this Luxie 237 brush and it's really compact. It's so perfect for this look because it'll really be able to put in that extra brown color just the places that you need it. I'm gonna be going in with that darker, deeper brown shade and I'm gonna be placing that more on the inside, kind of combining the two. And then same thing, when you go inside, you're gonna stop just a little bit more ahead wherever you had initially stopped with the other eye. Then I'm gonna go back with the Morphe M433 and just blend out like anything that I see that isn't blended properly. So I just go in here and I make sure everything's blended. After that, I go in with the first initial brush I use, which is the Morphe E27, and I like to blend up on top everything that I did so the color that we initially put still stands out. And don't add anything else to your brushes. Your brushes already have some of the colors still in them. So we just go on top. And it's that simple. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit just because this palette doesn't have a nude shade that fits my like nude color. Going in with the iconic London eyeshadow palette and it's so beautiful. I'm gonna be using the shade Marshmallow and I'm gonna be placing that on the inner part of my eyelid just to be able to open up my eye a little bit more. I start off in the corner and then I drag up, kind of like if you're cutting your crease in a way. So I drag up and I just fill in all the little pieces. So then going back in with my Luxie brush, I'm gonna make sure those two colors get blended in. And I like to go over top to make sure that the browns didn't get lost. And that's it. For right now, the eye look is done. For now, we're still gonna continue back on it once we're done with the face. So I prime my face with the Benefit Poreless Primer, and I only really use this primer on my nose and my chin, so wherever I see the most problem areas. For the rest of my face, I did go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. For foundation, I'll be going in with this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. So I like to just put it on my cheeks and then blend as I go. My Tarte Shape Tape, my Morphe M432 brush. I like to carve out the top of my brows. So then I make sure to do this to my eyebrows just so they can be sleek and literally they can cut up. I think to say more. And so it won't dry, I like to add half of what I'm gonna add to my forehead and then blend it. Because then it'll be really hard to blend once you start doing the other eye, and I feel like it's just not as seamless and you can literally see a line. And yes, we love to see that it's glowing, that your brow bone is glowing to the gods, but it's also nice to have it smooth. So that's what you have to do, and I do the same thing to the other side. So then after that, I go down the bridge of my nose, on top of my cupid's bow, and on my chin. A little crazy, but it's okay. So then I do the same thing under my eye. I'm gonna be using this translucent powder, and I think it's from Ciate. I can't really remember. It doesn't say on here. Oh yeah, it is. It is Ciate. So that's how I'm gonna set my eyes. So with the round side, that's how I like to blend my concealer, and with the flat part, I like to set it with the translucent powder, and I do it after I do every single eye. So once I finish this eye, I'll set it. Once I do the other one, I set it, and I make sure not to look down. And you look a little dumb, but it's okay. No one's gonna watch you except for you guys. But when you're by yourself, no one's gonna watch you. So you might look a little dumb, and it's okay. Literally, my face looks like, but it's fine, you know? So I just set it like that, and then I let it bake for a little bit, and while I do that, I'm also gonna add it to the other places that I added the concealer. In the meantime, while it's baking, I do like to go over my face with my powder. I have no clue where this brush is from, but I've had it for so long, but I love it. So just use any brush that kind of looks like this. I think they like sell tons of them, like even like at H-E-B and like Target and stuff, and they work just as well. I don't even think this is an expensive brush. I have no idea where I got this. And I go in with my, I can't say the name. If I'm being completely honest, I can't say this. So it's this powder that I use, and I really can't say the name. I also got it sent to me, and honestly, I love this powder. Like, it has become my staple. Literally the first time I wore it, my mom told me like, your face looks so like smooth, and I was like, oh, I just started using this new powder. And like, you know, when someone compliments your skin, that's how you know something's working. I've been using this brush, and it's called the brightening brush. I don't really know where it's from. It has a brand, but Alamar? I don't even know. So I use this brush. Literally just use any pointer brush you have to be able to drag it to get into little crease places. So if you've been on my channel and you've seen my videos, or you're just my friend and you just know, you know that my favorite contour palette for literally years, like I think since like, I don't even know, 9th grade year of like high school. I'm 22, I'm about to be 23, but I'm 22 now. So I can't get rid of using this one, and I might have to because I feel like Kat Von D's gonna stop selling makeup. Am I wrong? But I love using the shade in light. Oh, like I love her. I bought in so many, and she's beat up. But I'm also using the Hoola bronzer just because I like the warmth of it, and I don't know. I got like the little travel size one, but I actually really like it, so I might actually buy the big one. But honestly, I've used it for so much, and like there's no dents, so I don't know. I go in with my Morphe M527 brush. Like my face like, so you can like really see the part of the cheek that goes up, because I like to lift my face up. And it also depends on your face shape, so just guide it with like what you see on your features. So to go on top. I'm done with that. I do go in with my Shade and Light palette, and I do use this second shade, and I basically do the same thing, but I don't go as low. Then I go in with my Luxie 512 brush, and basically for this, it's like I'm really contouring the face, and I'm going in with the darkest shade in the palette. So I grab some of my brush and I try to be gentle with it, because a little bit can go a long way sometimes, and you don't want like a huge harsh line. So I start at the bottom and I do little circles, and I literally try to focus this at the bottom. and then I drag up a little bit, but not too much. Because the main focus of this one is going to be down here. So then I go in with this pointed blush brush. For blush, I'm going to be going in with this Ciate blush. Really like the color in this blush. It's very natural and pinky. This is in this shade Dusk. Next, I go in with this Luxie 27T, and I go back in with the Shade and Light palette, and I go in with the middle shade. So I grab very little, and I gradually put on more if I see I need it, but don't go on too harsh because then your nose will be really, really harsh. And I think it's a little bit harder to take off nose contour, but you can, it's just a lot harder. So I basically just draw a line up and bring it in. And then I just start blending it downwards, just so it can give it like that slim effect. Same thing to the other side. So then after that, I like to go in with this shade right here, and I like to put that right in the bottom of my nose. So I feel like it gives it a depth of your nose being slimmer from down here. I feel like it's a little bit like chunky, so it looks a little bit more pointy. I make sure to drag it up to where my nose, I don't know if you guys can see, I try to drag it up higher than what my nose ends, so it can look lifted up. I feel like we got a nose job, we didn't. We just want to make everyone think that we did. We want to make sure the men think we can't breathe. And then I do a small little circle. This one, you kind of have to be a little bit more precise. So I start off in the corner, and I blend it in. And then I just start blending it with little swooshes down on both sides. Then with the same Shade and Light palette, I go with these two top shades, and I literally go in with my finger and I just mix them together. I don't know why I do that, but I just do. And on the little ball point, I add the white. I add it to the bridge of the nose, very lightly. Then I'll be going in with my translucent powder, and I will be carving out my cheeks just to make sure the contour that I added doesn't look either messy or like if it's too low, and this will kind of fix your mistakes. So it's okay if you're like messy with it. This brush is from like BoxyCharm, but it is called Lavish, and the style is called Pencil. So I go back in with the initial shades that I used for my eyes, and I basically do everything backwards. So I will be going in with those two shades right there, and I'll be putting it in the bottom of my eye. After that, I go in with this Crown C513 brush. Go in with the first initial brown that we use. So I make sure the color gets put on really tight underneath my waterline. And then after that, that's when I start blending it downwards. Then I go in with this Morphe M432 brush. I'm going to be using that dark shade that we used, and I'll actually be highlighting that right underneath my waterline, and I will be blending it in a little bit, but not as far as we went with that second color. To put on the eyeliner, honestly you can skip the step if you don't want to do it. It's totally fine. I'm going to start putting glue on my eyelashes, and I'm going to take off all the translucent powder. And please, 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 please don't forget that you need to wait for the glue to dry. So at this point, my lashes are still not dry. My Mara Badescu spray, I like to use the green one because I think it smells better than like the rose one. And I just spray my face, and then I wait for it to dry, and I kind of dry it myself because you don't want any like little dots to get on your face. So after that, I go in with my Morphe M510 brush, and I like to use the highlighter from Ofra Rodeo Drive. Literally, this has still been my staple. It's my favorite. I get the most compliments on my highlight with this one, and I love it. So I start off here, and I drag it down, and then I really start blending up. So after that, your eyelashes should be at the point where they're almost done drying. So I pause what I'm doing, and I get my eyelashes and I start putting them on. After I'm done putting them on, I like for them to dry a little bit before I start messing with them, and I already do have them in place and how I want them, and they're pushed down, but I'm gonna do an extra little step once they actually dry down. So I'm gonna continue with highlighting my face. So then after that's done, I do like to put on my lipstick 'cause that's kind of like the final thing I like to do. So I'm going in with Jeffree Star in the shade Gemini. Shout out to Alex for giving it to me. This lipstick from Dose of Colors, and it is in the shade Nude Mood. And I put it in the middle. And with my fingers, I blend it in. This is the impression of like bigger lips, which is what I want. High key, I want lip fillers, but like, your girl's scared. So if you have had lip fillers, please comment down below of how you like them, because I high key want some. Or like, you can even go with my face. Like, I don't know, but I want some. I feel like I don't have any lips. Anybody else with me here? I'm gonna jump back into my eyes real quick just because I forgot a little tiny thing, and like, I just forgot. Sorry. I always do this. This is the step I always forget. So please don't be me. Please don't forget. So I go back in with my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be using those two shades. What I'm going to do is literally put those shades in the bottom of your brow bone so it can pop. So I just put it here. And that's it. It's such a small step and I always forget, but like it makes such a huge difference. All I forgot to put on, I always do that. Literally, I'll be stepping out the door and I'm like, no! And I literally run back in there and I'm like, so literally, don't be me. Don't forget. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I literally just put on some mascara off camera and I fixed my hair up a little bit, and I love this look. It's one of my most favorite and used looks that I do on myself. I literally use this like to go to dinner, to go like to work, or do little things like that, and I love it. And honestly, if you want to reamp this look, you can, because I have two. I'll put like gold glitter in the between my eyes, and honestly that makes this look pop. But I know right now we're in quarantine and like we want to learn how to practice to do like some natural look. So I do think this look is a little bit natural, even though this may not be everybody's natural. It's my type of natural. It's not something that's super in your face, but it's something where people are gonna look at you and be like, damn, who's that, you know? And that's what we're striving for. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be uploading again. I'm so sorry for the 2-year pause. I am back, and please subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!